إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرة ولا شمسا مضية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم، فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله، إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء فقال لي بإن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول: إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد. فقال علي عليه السلام لأبي: يا رسول الله، أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله: والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا، ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا وحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي عليه السلام: إذا والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله: يا علي، والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا، ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا محبينا وفيه محموم إلا وفرج الله حماه ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غماه ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي عليه السلام: إذا والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعيدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. سورة مباركة الفاتحة.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك وأتوجه إليك بنبيك نبي الرحمة محمد صلى الله عليه وآله، يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله، يا إمام الرحمة، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها، اشفع لنا. يا أبا الحسن يا أمير المؤمنين، يا علي بن أبي طالب، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها، اشفع لنا. يا فاطمة الزهراء، يا بنت محمد، يا قرة عين الرسول، يا سيدتنا ومولاتنا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيهة، اشفعي لنا. يا أبا محمد، يا حسن بن علي، أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن الحسين يا زين العابدين يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها الباقر يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا أبا عبد الله يا جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا أبا الحسن يا موسى بن جعفر أيها الكاظم يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى أيها الرضا يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن محمد أيها الهادي النقي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها اشفع لنا. يا وصي الحسن والخلف الحجة، أيها القائم المنتظر المهدي يا ابن رسول الله، يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله، يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله، يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. حاجات. يا سادتي وموالي، إني توجهت بكم أئمتي وعدتي ليوم فقري وحاجتي إلى الله، وتوسلت بكم إلى الله واستشفعت بكم إلى الله، فاشفعوا لي عند الله واستنقذوني من ذنوبي عند الله، فإنكم وسيلتي إلى الله، وبحبكم وبقربكم أرجو نجاة من الله، فكونوا عند الله رجائي. يا سادتي يا أولياء الله، صلى الله عليهم أجمعين، ولعن الله أعداء الله ظالميهم من الأولين والآخرين، آمين رب العالمين. Let's all recite 5 times I am Yujibul for all those who are in need of du'as. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء، 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 أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سورة المباركة الفاتحة.
حكم الأنبياء محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. ما صل على محمد وآل محمد.
علي وولد علي باسم الصلوات.
Turn the lights here in the back. Turn on the lights. I need the lights. اللهم صل على أفضل السلام والسلام عليك محمد وآل محمد صلوات محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه ونور عرشه أفضل الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين رحمة للعالمين الرسول المسدد محمود الأحمد أبي القاسم محمد وأهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد فقد قال الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم اللهم صل على Salman Farsi is narrating this, and Sheikh Mufid has written about this, that one day Salman Farsi says, I met Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala. And while I was in his company, the Prophet talked to me. And he gave me 7 beautiful advice, which has been a life changer for me. Who is saying this? Salman. Who is Salman? Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, is Nafs Rasul, while Salman is Ahl Bayt Muhammadi. He is from the family of Muhammad. He is narrating, Awsani Khalili Rasulullah. This is what Salman is saying. My Prophet, who is my friend. Khalil means friend. Awsani Khalili Rasulullah, my friend Rasulullah, is telling me, Bisabati la yaduhunna ala kulli hal. I have never ever forgotten this advice for the rest of my life. What is the advice? An unzira man huwa zuhri. Look at those less fortunate than you. Number 1. Look at those people. Without looking down at them, look at them and learn from them, get ibrat from them. And what is the example that we see in today's world? I saw one on a YouTube video clip where there is a little child that is sleeping between 2 graves of his mother and his father. And when he was asked, he says, I don't have anybody, but they're there for me. Allahu Akbar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Rahman, فَبِأَيِّ عَلَىٰ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. How many ni'mat have I given you? How many? कितनी नेमतों से तुझे नवाजा है? कितनी नेमतों? And yet, we worry about and we complain about mortgage. Oh my God, my mortgage is due. I'm short $50. Huh? We're worried about, oh, I'm late. My boss is going to fire me, or he's going to take out half an hour from my pay. We're worried about everything with madiyat, dunya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Prophet is giving us advice. In fact, let me say this, if I may, that the Muhammad of the time, our Prophet, through the Muhammad, the ninth Imam Muhammad al-Taqi al-Jawad, is giving you and I the message today as we speak. Durood bhejiye Muhammad wa alim. Allahumma salli ala. Don't look at the trivialities of life. What does he say in the Quran in Surah Talaq? Allah is guaranteeing you. Guarantee. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَيَتَّقِ اللَّهَ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَالِغُ أَمْرِهِ قَدْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. Trust me, Allah says. Invest your fear, your phobia in me, and I will reward you, and I will provide you from sources that you have not even imagined. And this is my promise. Allah वादा करता, क्या है वादा? अपने खौफ को, अपने सब जो बुरे ख्यालात हैं, जो अपनी जहनों को शैतानियत की तरफ ले जाती है, उनको छोड़ो और आओ और मुझ पर भरोसा करो, मुझ पर तवक्कल करो। मैं उसी रास्ते से आपको वो नेमत दूंगा जिस रास्ते का आपने अभी तक सोचा। You haven't even thought of it. And this is the first advice. And the second, وَأَنْزَرَ مَنْ هُوَ فَوْقِي. Look at the height others have reached spiritually. Don't compare yourself to others. This is the Prophet. And these are words echoing from our ninth Imam also. And what are the words? Oh, you know what? I fast. I pray. Oh, I get up at night and I do namaz al-shab. Wah wah. Are wah wah. I don't miss any mustahab song. Whether it's Rajab, Shaban, Ramzan. Oh, Ramzan is wajib, but I don't miss it. And you look at yourself and say, wah wah. Wah wah. How great you are. Ay bande Khuda, Rasulullah is telling you, don't look at yourself that way. Look at those who have reached a higher spiritual level than you and have been called Muttaqi or have been called Imam al-Muttaqin, Asadullah al-Ghalib, Ghalib kulli Ghalib, Matlub kulli Talib, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Salawatullahi alayhi wa sallam. Rahma salli. Second advice. The third, this is again advice coming from the Prophet and from our ninth Imam, Prophet to Salman, and from our ninth Imam to all of you and me today as we speak. And I will get to that in a few seconds. The third one, أن أحب الفقراء وأدواهم. Love to be amongst the poor and the needy. enjoy to be with the people that are poor and are needy. How many times have we gone and actually shared a meal, a halal meal, which is cooked by our members of the community at a shelter? While we feed them, do we sit with them and do we talk to them? Do we? But that's too shameful. Oh, look at the way they're dressed. Oh my God, he smells. Ah, wah. How about your amal that smell? How about that? How many times have you decided to be amongst the needy and the poor and loved it? Why is this Prophet saying this to us? And why is our 90 Imam telling us this today, 2023, end of January 31st today? He's talking to you and I. He's narrating this to you and I. Why? For the simple reason that by being amongst the less fortunate, by being amongst the poor, by being amongst those that need your help, you will realize how much in need you are for the help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one can say, oh, I don't need no more. You need. We all need something. I don't say we want, by the way, because want is different from need. I want a giant screen TV. That's a want. You don't need it. Need. Zururat. Khahish nahi. Want is khahish. Need. You'll be able to find out what is it that you need by being amongst the poor and the fuqara. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the Prophet and through the Imam, is narrating to you and I. Durood bhejiye Muhammad wa ali Muhammad par. Allahumma salli. Number 4, anakun al-haq wa in kana al-murra. Say the truth, however bitter it is. Face the truth. आजकल ये दुनिया में सोचे, what's going on today? Lies. Open your national TV and you'll find out liars. And they're proven to be what? Great. They're never wrong. Wow. Our Imam, our Prophet is telling us, learn how to speak the truth. Face the truth. Confront the truth. When you do this, you are getting closer to the truthful ones. Who are they? Who are these truthful ones? إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد. The thing about lying, and this is a psychological fact, જેને ખોટી બોલવાની આદત હોય ને, જૂઠો માણસ. What happens to this person is there is a la'na, a kahar from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that befalls this individual immediately. And what is that? That is the discontentment of the heart. You will see a liar never happy. He's ready, because now he's in the trap of shaitan, to go into another lie to cover this lie. And he's constantly falling and falling and falling into the pits of hell. within him in this dunya. This is why the Prophet told Salman that always, always say the truth, however bitter it may be. Don't lie. Don't lie. Number 5. وَأَثِينَ الرَّحِمَ وَإِنْ كَانَ مُطْوِرًا. Always maintain sila raham, however the other people treat you. Always maintain sila raham. And a beautiful example is given by Agha Hussain Kummi, who is the narrator. And it is about Ayatollah Khoi. Ayatollah Khoi was sitting with his son. And his son is saying, "Oh, Father, I admire you. Everybody loves you. Everybody respects you. Everybody thinks highly of you. Oh, Father, how did you get this elevation, a station, a status?" And Aga Khoi, very humble man, a very humble man, he says, "I did not get it by doing it salah or sawm or doing all these wajibats or mustahabats. No, I did not. I did not." Aga Khoi is saying, "I got this." And he gives him an example. He says, there was a very close friend, an Aziz of mine. Aziz, close friend. That came one day and he said, I've come here for the hand of your daughter for my son. Aga Khoi, after all, he's a wali, he's a father. He knew a few things the man didn't know. And he said, "No, I cannot accept this. I cannot accept it." The man was very upset. Who's narrating this? Aga Khoi. To whom? His son. About what made him this great. He says, "I went every Thursday," Aga Khoi says, "every Thursday I would go to his door and do Daqul Bab." Why? Because it had hurt his feelings. I had hurt the man. And he wanted to ask for forgiveness. Sile Raham. This is called Sile Raham. Apne dushman ko bhi mauke pe bhalai kar do. Kept on going. He says, I went for a month. I went for 2 months. I went for 6 months. I went for 1 year. And I went for 2 years consecutively, knocking at his door every Shabbat Juma to ask for forgiveness in the name of Sila Rahim. Finally, after 2 years, the man opened the door and he started smiling. He says, Agha, I truly, truly accept your apology. Your Sila Rahmi has shown me on how to behave. And Aga Khoi says to his son, he says, this is the Sila Rahmi that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved so much that he gave me a station, an elevation in the society. Durud Biji Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. The 6th one. La as'alanna shay'an. Don't ask or depend on other human beings. Don't. Depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but don't depend. These hands should come to me, Allah says. Don't go to everybody. I need your help, huh? I'm short 500. I got to pay my bills. Don't. This is Rasulullah telling whom? Salman Farsi. This is our ninth Imam, Imam Muhammad Taqi al-Jawad, telling you and I. Today we're in a situation in this world where we are facing a lot of problems. We are. Corona just went, fine, but the new virus is out. We have some health problems. We have economical issues. We have a lot of issues that are going on. And the biggest issue we have today, my brothers and sisters in Iman, are the issues of maintaining your faith, your Iman. Maintaining your Iman. अपने ईमान को हफ्ज़ो अमीन रखना, ये आजकल की सबसे बड़ी मुश्किलात है. It's a very big issue. Someone probably mentioned it to me a little earlier. We have a Zakir, but how many people are here today? How many? And my answer was very simple. My answer was, I don't look at how many mu'mineen and mu'minat came. My vision is that before a majlis starts, Bibi Sayyida comes herself. The Aimmas come. All the Anbiyas come. All the Malaikas come from the heaven. And when they go back, the other Malaikas say, what is this beautiful fragrance that's coming out of you? He says, we were in a place where all the Muhibban Ahl al-Bayt got together. And this is the smell of Hubbul Ahl al-Bayt. Durud Bayji Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli. So the answer is very simple. Maybe I can count how many are here, but I will not be able to count how many blessings are we getting by those that we cannot see that are here. Don't be negative, my brothers. Don't. Be positive. Look at the bright side of things. Now, number 6, as I said, La as'al an-nasa shay'an. Don't ask or depend on other people. The 7th, Man aw stani uktira min qawli. Salman is saying that this call that the Prophet gave has been on my tongue and will be until the day I die. And what is that? It is La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-aliyyil azim. He says, this is the call that will lead you to Jannah, that takes you away from Jahannam and leads you to Jannah. And these are the 7 beautiful, beautiful advice that was given by the Prophet to Salman and by our 9th Imam to all of us. Durud Bayji Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad par. Allahumma salli. The salawats can be a little louder. I don't think it'll offend anybody. Ba'awaz-e buland salawat. Allahumma salli. Muhammad. Like I said in my last lecture, my lectures are usually short, but my points are to present to you what are issues on hand. Our Imam, and we send our felicitation to our 12th Imam and to all the Mu'mineen for the birth anniversary of our 9th Imam, Imam Muhammad Taqi al-Jawad, salawatullahi alayhi wa alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli Muhammad. Taqi, a man of taqwa, a man that was pure. Al-Jawad, a man that was absolutely unique in his way of giving away the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether it was ilm or whether it was material. This is our 9th Imam. Now, and I'm skipping a lot of pages because I do want to finish in time. Our 9th Imam, the biggest contribution, when the 8th Imam, he was about, some riwayat say he was 43. Some say he was 47 years old. And he still did not have children. He did not have any children. And when finally our 9th Imam was born, our 8th Imam was so happy, so elevated. Why? He says, this is the best news that the Shia of the time during Ghaibat are going to get from the Imam. This is the best news for the Shias to get. What does it mean by that? The idea is very simple. The Imam, his connection with the Shia of Ahlul Bayt was very strong. He had 13 deputies during his time. Why did he have deputies? Why did he have naib? Why? He was preparing you and I that when the time of ghaibat comes, you can comprehend the teachings, because the teachings have started now through the Naib Imam. In different stations, in Baghdad, in Kufa, in Ahvaz, in Basra, in Hamadan, in Qum, in Ray, and Sistan, all over, he had naibs who collected khums for him. And the money would go to the needy and the poor. Constantly, he helped the needy and the poor. How did he get the money? From khums only? No. He was also the son-in-law of Ma'mun Rashid. And that man politically wanted, by giving his daughter to marry him, was interested in having a child from them so he can continue and say that we are amongst the Ahlul Bayt. But makaru wa makari, inna Allaha khayrul makirin. She never got a child. Never. The second wife, she had 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. The first wife, no children. And the Imam had this money that was coming, and he kept on dispersing it amongst the poor, the needy. And there is a list of people that the Imam had naibs that he would appoint and that they would do his job. But the beauty is that the Imam was a man that gave. He kept on giving. And there are many incidences on how he gave. How he gave. He was an Imam. The one beautiful example that I can give you is, you remember, all of you, story of Ma'mun going to hunt and comes back with the fish and hiding it, and the Imam finds out and tells him. The ibra of this incident is that your Imam Sahibul Asri wa Zaman, salawatullahi alayhi wa sallam, Allahumma salli alayhi. Our 9th Imam is showing that the way I can see what is hidden, your 12th Imam is amongst you and can see every single thing that you're doing on a daily basis. Are we watching our actions? Or are we embarrassing our Imam by our action? Are we taking the nasiha? Or are we ignoring it? Have you opened your Quran today? Have you? Have you at least read one small surah? Or taught your son or daughter? If you haven't, where is the hidayah? Where is the hikmah that you're going to get from? What will we do when the 12th Imam arrives? Are we going to ask him for certification? What's your certificate? Show us a mu'jiza, Imam, then we believe in you. Is this what we're going to be? The 9th Imam is showing, look, I can see what is in the hands of Mahmud. Your 12th Imam can see exactly where you are going to be on a daily basis. Durud Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. There are a few miracles that the Imam performed. One day, there was a muhibb of Ahlul Bayt. And he loved the Imam so much that he wanted to do his ziyarah. His name was Abdullah. He lived in a faraway place. But he knew that during the time of Hajj, at Makkah, when people get together, he will either see the Imam there, if not, he will see him in Medina. So he goes. But there was such a crowd, he could not see the Imam. And in his heart, he had only one feeling. Ya Imam, I want to meet you once. Just once. I want to ask you for a favor. I want a piece of your personal clothing that I can take with me in my lahad, in my grave. This is the desire this man had. He goes to Medina, same problem. He's not able to meet the Imam. Finally, he goes back to his city. Before he enters the gate of his city, there is a man waiting there. He says, who is there by the name of Abdullah? Who? I'm looking for a man by the name of Abdullah. And this man says, I am Abdullah. And he gives him a box, a sanduk. This is from your Imam. When he takes the sanduk and he opens it, inside was the shirt of the Imam that this man had desired. Durud bheje Muhammad wa ali Muhammad pa. Allah salli ala Muhammad wa ali. Ba'd digar salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. One day, Al-Mu'tasim, he was in a dilemma. They caught a thief. And the punishment, of course, is to cut his hands off. So the people that were the lovers of the Ahlul Bayt, they said, no, you cannot cut his hands off. Some said, yes, Sharia says cut his hands off. So this man, Al-Mu'tasim, who was then the Caliph, Abbasid Caliph, he says, I'm in a dilemma. Even when an enemy of Ahlul Bayt is in trouble, he calls none other than Babul Hawaij. And he calls our 9th Imam. And he says, please come and solve this problem. And the Imam comes. And he says, no, you cannot cut his hands off. But the Sharia says you have to. It's not the hand. Cut his fingers off. So Mu'tasim says, why not his hand? He says, because the seven parts of the body that must touch the sajda when you do sajda is this forehead, the palm, the knees, and your 2 feet. If they are removed, his ibadah is null and void. And for that, all the sins, you will get mu'tasim. And the problem was resolved. Durud Beji Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Ali. Looks like you're getting tired. So I will give you one more mu'jiza, inshallah wa ta'ala, and then we'll probably have a qasida. There was a man during the time of Imam Raza alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Ali. He was in Khurasan, and he had become blind. He had become blind. He comes to Imam Raza alayhi salam. Imam Raza smiles at him and says, go to Medina or send a letter to Medina because you're blind. Send a letter to my son, Imam Muhammad Taqi al-Jawad. Send him a letter. The man tells his servant to write the letter. Ya Imam, I've lost my vision. I'm blind now. I cannot see. I ask you, as Babul Hawa'ij, the fulfiller of desires, to please take care of my problem. The Imam is fairly young. He's in Medina. He gets this letter. When he gets the letter, he deliberately tells his ashab to open the letter and read it to him. And he reads it. Why? So that people are aware of what he could do and what he was able to do and what he was going to do. And he says, takes the letter, kisses it, and says, write to him, how are your eyes now? Please let me know. He takes that letter and kisses it. Who? The ninth Imam. And he gives it to the servant, who goes to the servant of the man in Khurasan and gives it to him. As soon as this man is sitting in his room, and he's sitting there, he's blind, but suddenly he smells this scent of imama. Allahu Akbar. And suddenly he feels so happy. He says, there is some good news from my Imam. And the servant says, yes. He says, what? Read me. And he reads the letter. He says, I hope your eyesight is getting better and will get better. And he takes that letter, he kisses it, and puts it by his eyes. And immediately, the one Muhammad, أولنا محمد وأوسطنا محمد وآخرنا محمد. Look at the mu'jiza of the word Muhammad. The vision comes right back to the man, and all he says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Afzalu salat wa salam wa alayhi محمد وآل محمد صلوات صلوا على पालने वाले तुझे वास्ता है पंजतन पाक का चहर मासूमीन का अबुल फजल अब्बास अमीरुल मोमिनीन का उम्मुल बनीन का बीबी ज़ैनब का उम्मे कुलसूम का बीबी फातिमा ज़हरा सैयद निसाइल आलमीन का बीबी सकीना का अली असगर का इमाम जाफर सादिक का इमाम मूसी काज़िम का इमाम अली रज़ा का इमाम मोहम्मद तकी अल जवाद का इमाम हसन अस्करी का इमाम साहिबुल अस्र व ज़मान सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली। पालने वाले जो बीमार हैं उनको शफाए कामिला अता फरमा, जो मकरूज हैं उनके कर्ज अदा फरमा, जो हाजतमंद हैं उनके हाजात बरला, जो मुश्किलात में हैं उनकी मुश्किलात आसान कर दे या अल्लाह। या अल्लाह, जो भी असीर है उनको रिहा कर दे, या अल्लाह बेहक मोहम्मद व आल मोहम्मद, बिलखुसूस हमारे नौ में इमाम मोहम्मद तकी जवाद का वास्ता, सबके जो हाजरीन महफिल है उनकी दिल की मुरादें पड़ला। अफजलुस्सलाम मोहम्मद व आल मोहम्मद।
اللهم صل على محمد.
अब रू इफलास में भी ऐ कनात रह गई, पास ये दौलत फकत तेरी बदौलत रह गई। कहते थे अब्बास बच्चों तेरी दामत रह गई, मश्क क़ैमे तक न पहुँची, दिल में हसरत रह गई। शाह कहते थे उदू करते मुझे काबे में कतर, शुक्र है लेकिन हरीम में हक़ की हुर्मत रह गई। बैत फासिक न की शबीर ने अच्छा हुआ, रह गया इस्लाम दीने हक़ की इज़्ज़त रह गई। सुन के हाले करबला अक्सर ये कहते थे हनीफ, क्या कहें इस मारके की दिल में हसरत रह गई। फर्क अपने अब्द वो पड़ी तेरे अली, ता क़यामत यादगार उस दिन की ज़रबत रह गई। आबरू इस लाश में भी है क़नात रह गई। सलवात।
अस्सलामु अलैकुम। العالمين. السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله إلا وآخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا سيدي مولاي أبي الفضل العباس زينب ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرج نزولك، وجعلنا من أعوانك والأنصارك والمستشهدين بين يديك. السلام عليك أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله